Solve by completing the square. In order to solve this equation, we got to make sure that the x squared term and the x term are on one side of the equation and the constant gets moved over to the other side of the equation. So here I'm going to remove the 3 by subtracting 3 from both sides. And this is going to give me the setup that I want. So the 3's are going to cancel out. And then I'm going to have x squared minus 9x. I'm going to leave some room because I'm going to complete the square. And then on the right hand side, 0 minus 3, that's going to be negative 3. And whatever I do to one side of the equation, I'm going to have to do it to the other. So here I'm also going to be adding by that quantity. In order to complete the square, I need to grab the coefficient of x. Here that's going to be negative 9. I'm going to divide that evenly, so got to cut it in half with 2. And then I'm going to multiply the result by itself. We can express that by raising it to the second power. On the right hand side, I'm going to add the same value, negative 9 over 2 to the second power. On the right hand side, since I have a perfect square trinomial now, I can factor this by grabbing x and adding the quantity that's inside of the parentheses. So here I'm simply going to subtract 9 over 2. We're going to raise that to the second power. On the right hand side, I have negative 3. And then I'm going to simplify this fraction that's being raised by a power of 2. So negative 9 to the second power, that's going to be positive 81. And then 2 raised to the second power, that's going to be positive 4. Now here on the right hand side, I have some work to do because these two quantities do not share a common denominator. So first I'm going to divide by 1, and I'm going to combine these two fractions. To get the common denominator, I'm going to multiply the 1 with the 4, which is going to give me the 4 that I need. And now I'm going to cross multiply. So here, negative 3 times 4 gives me a negative 12. My operation is addition, so we're going to add this with 81 times 1, which will give me 81. On the left hand side here, I still have x minus 9 over 2. Since the 2 doesn't divide a 9, I'm going to leave it as a fraction. And on the right hand side, negative 12 plus 81, that's going to give me a 69. So we get 69 over 4. To eliminate the second power, we're going to get the square root on both sides. On the left hand side, the square and the square root cancel out, giving me x minus 9 over 2. On the right hand side, well, first of all, we're going to get plus or minus, but notice that 69 doesn't have a perfect square, so we're going to leave it as a square root of 69. The 4 does have a perfect square. The square root of 4 is 2, so that one we can simplify. Now to finish this problem, we need to isolate x, so I'm going to add 9 over 2 to both sides. On the right hand side, the 9 over 2's are going to cancel out, so I'm left with x equal to, and again keeping the convention of putting this number in front, 9 over 2 plus or minus root 69 over 2. I'm going to clean this up just a tiny bit more since I noticed that I have a common denominator, so I can write my final answer as 9 plus or minus root 69 all over 2.